Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy motherfucking Monday. How we doing, man? How are we doing? And like I said, I'm your host, Zom Slays. What's cracking? Today is January 17th, 2020, or no, June 17th, 2024. June is just flying by, man. Like, quite literally flying by. So welcome. How we doing, man? What's cracking? First off, in the chat, before we even get fucking started, we have Mark coming in with quite literally a random five bomb. Let's fucking go. Huge shout out to Mark, man. You did not have to do that. You're a fucking legend. And thank you, my friend. And a motherfucking hype train. A literal hype train conductor. Look at that fucking badge. Look at that badge. Let's go, man. Let's fucking go. Huge shout out to Mark, man. Thank you so much. And we just nailed the sub goal. Little gifties, we got some real good heads in there getting gifted. Veins, Vinny, Insomniac. Huge shout out to all you guys, man. Make sure you say thank you to Mark if you see Mark around for sure. Definitely, show him some love and thank you for the support, my friend. I appreciate it. Five bomb is crazy. Five bomb is absolutely fucking crazy, if I do say so myself. You do it for the people. Let's fucking go, baby. Um, Stacked up on 30 on the leaderboard now. Literally 30 on the leaderboard. That is crazy. Crazy. Vibe Maxin, return ship from Amazon tomorrow. Had enough for a tenner. I would. No worries. Anything helps. Anything helps, my friend. Whatever you feel like doing, you know what I mean? No worries. Trying to beat Plez. Only 7 more. Only 7 more. Plez has been rather absent from Twitch, so I think you can do it if it comes down to it. I definitely think it's doable for sure. But like I said, welcome. This is episode 178 of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome, my friends. So what's cracking? Lots of submissions, lots of stuff to get through. So we're gonna go over some weekly recap jazz and a couple other things, and then we'll get into some reactions and reviews, per usual. So this past weekend was Indie Horror Speedruns Summer Marathon 2024. If you couldn't tell, I'm absolutely fucking exhausted. That was quite the day. It was definitely a really insane event. So I just want to say a huge shout out to everybody that supported, came through, showed love, all that good jazz. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Is it getting uploaded to the tube? Absolutely is. You guys should see VODs for all the runs and the full marathon this week. If not tomorrow, probably Wednesday. But of course, you can go watch it on Twitch right now still. But this upcoming week, yes. So everything will be uploaded to the tube per usual. But yeah, that was a crazy ass weekend, man. I had an insane weekend, like actually an insane weekend. So we're gonna have a pretty chill show today, for sure. That's a fact. So, all right, let's talk. Let's get into it. So where do we start? Let's start with some weekly recap, jazz. So, what happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so, and all that good stuff. Let's talk about it. So, like I said, today is June 17th, and of course, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available right now in limited quantities. We have smalls, mediums, and larges left. We are currently sold out of extra larges and double extra larges, actually. So, make sure you get yours while supplies last. Make sure you send us a message and all that other stuff if you're interested in purchasing a Music Mondays basic logo tee. Early access Patreon content is available right now on the Patreon. We pretty much upload everything early over there, including articles, playlists, a lot of good jazz over there on the Patreon. Mark is actually a fellow member of the Patreon, so get like Mark and make sure you go show the Patreon some love. And huge shout out to everybody that already is subbed to the Patreon. Mark, Ryuki, Kruker, Blank Dot, Drama Eyes, quite literally everybody, man. You guys are awesome, so thank you. And Jordan as well, of course. I'm sending you the Addy while I'm thinking of it. Oh, yeah. Definitely send the address through. For sure, send it. Yes. Definitely send it. Absolutely send it. So, yeah. Definitely let us know if you're interested in the Patreon. And go show the Patreon some love, for sure. So that was Tuesday, actually. So we rolled into Wednesday and we dropped SoundCloud Sunday submissions on Wednesday. And of course, Thursday we had a brand new YouTube upload as well. Here in case of the Mondays collection 2 full drop date is June 21st. So for those of you that were here last week and saw the segment that I did while we were live, I announced the date before it got fully released to the public for Here in Case of the Mondays collection 2. Again, that does drop this Friday, June 21st. The official track list is out right now. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. That'll be on YouTube and SoundCloud only. Make sure you're following us on SoundCloud and all that good jazz. But we did upload a YouTube video about it where I kind of broke down a lot of the Here in Case of the Mondays process and things like that. So definitely go show that video some love and make sure you subscribe, man, because we're 2 subs away from 280. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So make sure you go show the channel and the videos some love. Let's fucking get it. So that was Thursday, heading into Friday. Much like I said, the official track list is live now for Here in Case of the Mondays collection 2. That is dropping June 21st, this Friday. We have a 12-track project, really stacked, lots of wonderful underground talent, some returning faces, some new faces, all that good jazz. So like I said, June 21st, make sure you keep your eyes peeled and make sure you go show that some love. Sure. So, Here in Case is dropped. No, this Friday. It is this Friday. Yes. Yep. This Friday. The track list is pinned right now on all of our socials. So definitely go check that out and go show these artists some love because that's gonna be fucking crazy. So that was Friday. We also dropped a brand new article super late on Friday because we were doing some post editing on that. But Conbini actually dropped a wonderful review that is live on the site right now. So definitely go show Conbini in the article some love. That is a fucking banger piece. Super late night article. So again, make sure you go show that some love and go show Conbini some love. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss that? Yeah, you indeed did not miss that. The album is not out yet. Not yet. This Friday though. Very soon. But yeah, go show Conbini some love and go check out the new piece on allmusicmondays.com. That is a great review. So, heading into Saturday. Music Mondays episode 177 is available on all platforms, including audio platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. It's available right now, so make sure you go check that out and go show episode 177 some love. And like I said, that's available everywhere. Huge shout out to the YouTube crew, huge shout out to the Spotify crew, and everybody that kind of pops in and shows love to the show wherever you may listen to the show. And of course, you can get the full quality episodes on our Patreon early before they drop pretty much everywhere for full download quality and things like that. So make sure you go check out our Patreon. But like I said, episode 177 is available right now on all platforms. So make sure you go check that out. Go show that some love, man. So that was Saturday. Heading into Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday volume 139 is available right now on our SoundCloud. That was curated by me with cover art by 63. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted and showed love to SoundCloud Sunday volume 139. That is a fucking banger. We are 1 volume away from 140, which is like, holy shit. That is actually really fucking crazy. So, yeah, definitely go show SoundCloud Sunday volume 139 some love. And of course, per usual, huge shout out to everybody that submitted, showed love, all that good jazz. Thank you. So, that was Sunday. We rolled into Monday today, so your weekly recap is live on all socials. I just ran through the weekly recap with you as well. But we're here. We're live. This is episode 178 of the Music Mondays podcast. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what's coming up next for Music Mondays, what's going down over the next week or so. Mostly album stuff, to be honest with you. And then we're going to talk a little bit about recruiting and sort of have a little bit of a discussion segment, I think. And then we're going to get into some reactions and reviews. You guys know the drill, man. So, let's get into it. What is coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? Well, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are looking for all roles. If you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team as a writer, journalist, curator, designer, content creator, you want to do short form, you want to do long form content, feel free to send us a message, and I'll be happy to break down the details of all the staff roles for you. And of course, we have a YouTube video uploaded right now where I kind of break down all the staff roles, what all the roles really consist of, and things like that. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Recruiting, yes, is always happening pretty much, but I like to say it at the start of every show just because it is relatively important, right? And of course, we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. If you would like to drop a unreleased exclusive track on our SoundCloud, completely hosted and promoted by Music Mondays across all of our platforms for free, definitely let us know. Because following Cure in Case of the Mondays Collection 2, we are back on the hunt for exclusives on our SoundCloud. So, of course, we are only interested in the unreleased version of your tracks. Feel free to distribute wherever else you'd like. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version, just to show our supporters some love, make sure we show you guys some love, just in a different way, right? So, very, very, very important. But again, if you're interested in any SoundCloud exclusives, definitely let us know. And of course, the same goes for YouTube. If you'd like audio or a visual or a lyric video or a music video, even hosted on the Music Mondays channel of our wide audience over there, and of course hosted and promoted for free by us, definitely let us know, man. So again, YouTube exclusives and SoundCloud exclusives for the people, absolutely for the people. So that'll be something we kind of hunker back down on when the album drops this Friday. So feel free to send us a message, and we'd be happy to set up an exclusive with you for sure. So outside of that, what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So this will kind of double up as like a discussion segment because I wanted to break down the summer coming up, to be honest with you, because we're heading into July. It's getting warmer outside. Lots of events are happening. So let's break it down, man. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna get one in for sure. Yeah, nah, for sure, Mark. We definitely need one. Way overdue, to be honest with you. Like way overdue. So yeah, that'll be exciting. That'll definitely be exciting. But let's see here. So what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of next week? And all that good jazz. So we are pretty much done with Cure in Cases of the Mondays. We went through the whole rollouts. We announced the track list. That'll be dropping Friday. So as I've mentioned over the course of the last few episodes, realistically, we'll be heading into some Cyberfest 2 planning. So when it comes to Cyberfest 2, if you don't know what Cyberfest 2 is, that is our online URL Discord festival where we have artists come on, play a set of about 15, 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and really throw an online event for everybody. We haven't had one since 2022. So I'm really excited for it, and that'll be something that, of course, you guys will get details for as we kind of figure it out. Right now, we're kind of just toying around with dates and things like that, and of course, we'll kind of see who you guys would like to see on the lineup and all that good jazz. So again, once the album drops, Cyberfest 2 talks will be continuing, and we'll be getting into it. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that, because that'll be the next thing that we kind of have on our broad scale here, right? So again, outside of that, I think one last thing that we're going to do is also continue to promote merch. We only have a few pieces left, so we really want to get them out to people who actually want them. So again, if you're interested in a Music Mondays Basic Logo t-shirt, definitely let us know. Send us a DM. We'll be happy to ship that out to you. And of course, all of our Patrons that month got one as well. So huge shout outs for all of our Patrons, because you guys are amazing. And then outside of that, I think Cyberfest 2 is going to be really full steam ahead once maybe towards the end of June, right? But outside of that, your monthly and weekly content will stay the same. So when it comes to Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday, YouTube uploads, interviews, things like that, those will obviously continue, and those will continue to roll out per usual. And of course, your weekly content, right? Weekly articles, SoundCloud Sunday, Music Mondays podcast, all that good jazz. That will also continue. So again, make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Follow us on all socials at All Music Mondays, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all that good jazz. So you can stay up to date with what Music Mondays is up to. But that is essentially what we have planned for the summer. It's going to be a really good one, man. It's going to be a really good one, especially with the return of Cyberfest, man. It's been over 2 years. You know what I mean? So we've pretty much doubled our audience, right? I think on some platforms even tripled. So this is going to be a way bigger event than our first one. So I'm really excited for it. But again, keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you follow us on socials, and of course, this will get uploaded on YouTube just as like a little summer recap and summer preview as well. Of course, make sure you subscribe. We are 2 subs away from 280, so make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. 2 videos per week, man. So make sure you sub the channel if you haven't. And huge shout out to the YouTube crew, even just for liking, subscribing, even if you're just watching the videos. You're amazing. Thank you. Let's fucking get it. All right, man. So, let's get into it. So that was our discussion segment. We did weekly recap, Jazz. I think it's time. I think it's absolutely time, my friends. It is absolutely time. So, let's pause the music. Let's go see what we got going on over on Twitter. Let's go take a look, yeah? Okay. Pull up the submissions. Bada bing, bada boom. A little bit of that. How we doing here? All right. So on screen, per usual, tweets are always in the same format. If you're new here, they will always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on June 17th, 2024, which is today. Twitch.tv/ZomPlays, which is here and now. Of course, the only thing that changes is the date, so make sure you keep that in mind. And make sure you're submitting for the right show, because sometimes people get it twisted and they submit for a show that already happened. Not good. I don't want to ignore anybody's submissions, right? So make sure you check in the date and make sure the show actually hasn't happened yet. But of course, twitch.tv/ZomPlays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. Contrary to our name, Music Mondays, you guys know that we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. From artwork to merchandise to photography to videography. We've pretty much reacted to everything. Instrumentals, poetry, quite literally everything, man. So you name it, we've definitely reacted to it here on the show. So again, feel free to submit any type of work if you feel like you deserve some spotlight on Music Mondays, right? Because most underground creatives are multi-talented, right? A lot of producers are also designers. A lot of designers are also vocalists, and vice versa. So that's kind of why we do that. But feel free to drop any type of links for sure. And of course, for our show limit, just to really ensure the quality of life and really make sure that the show is up to standard, right? I mean, one could argue that a 4-hour show is a bit long, but again, like I always say, it's kind of a big difference from when we used to do like 6, 7, 8-hour shows. You know what I mean? That was a bit of a doozy back in like 2022. So yeah, we cap it off at 4. Those 7-hour shows were rough. They really were rough. Not a lot of people remember those. Mark definitely does. So if you were around for those times, really, really crazy. But again, 4 hours is a lot better to swallow than in 7 to 8 hour show. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure like it was almost 8 hours, I think. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So again, those are a bit tough to watch back. You know what I mean? Even sometimes you could argue like a 4-hour show is a bit tough to watch back, but at least 4 hours you could kind of like throw it on in the background and you can just let it play on your TV or whatever, like while you're cleaning your crib or super long car ride or anything like that. But yeah, 4-hour show limit, and of course we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch. There are some other shows on YouTube and things like that, but we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch. So again, just to take a little bit of the pressure off of the staff and myself, we do have a 4-hour show limit just to really keep things in check, right? So do note that, of course. And of course, submissions are always free. They always have been free, and they always will be free for life. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Not only to help grow our platform and spread our message, right? But just pay respects to everybody else that does follow Music Mondays and does wait for their submission to be reacted to every single week. So again, make sure you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. That's the only thing that we do ask. No payment, none of that. Submissions are always free, and like I said, they always have been. So make sure you're following Music Mondays, man. And of course, you gain access to a wonderful community network of creatives that are just super, super passionate, man. So it's kind of a win-win, if you ask me. But of course, outside of that, due to the show limit and things of that nature, Patreon subscriber submissions will be played first every single week. So if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, you gain access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which for the duration that you're subscribed to the Patreon allows you to have your submissions played first here on the show every single week. as an alternative, right? Because we do have a 4-hour show limit, and sometimes people want their submissions played first at the peak of the show. And of course, it helps with watching the show back, right? If you go to watch the show for the first time and you're one of the first submissions that are played, it's kind of a good thing, because you're kind of at the height of the viewership, right? At the start of the show, you're at the beginning of all the episodes. You know what I mean? So you gain access to the Music Money's Fast Pass and a whole bunch of other goodies at several tiers. So again, Patreons will always go first per usual, but again, that's not required. None of that is required. We always do free submissions as well. But I just wanted to create an alternative for anybody that wanted to guarantee that their submissions get played here on the show, right? Because sometimes the shows will start to get really late or long, and sometimes we won't get to all these submissions, right? I think last month we had a week where we had 71 submissions here on the show. There was no fucking way I was getting through 71 submissions. So that's why the Patreon is in place for the people that actually want to guarantee that their tracks get on the show, right? Of course, the Fast Pass isn't the only thing we have on the Patreon. We have a lot of other goodies over there at 3 different tiers. So definitely go check out the Patreon and go show that some love. And again, huge shout out to all of our Patrons right now. Mark, Ryuki, Jordan, Blank Thought, Kruger, Drama Eyes, and anybody else who's following the Patreon as well. Let's fucking go, baby. You guys are amazing. Yeah, right, Mark, exactly. Like when you're reacting to music, like 70 is a lot. You know what I mean? Like reacting in itself, like you could kind of say that it's not that hard, but if you do submissions how we do them here, because we're breaking down meanings, we're talking about instrumentals, we're talking about the vocals, you know what I mean? Like we're not just playing submissions and we're like, oh yeah, fire. So that's why our shows are a bit longer, right? Because we actually break down tracks and give them their fair shot. So very important. But per usual, the only other thing that you do need to know is that submissions close a couple hours before the show starts. So again, submissions open every single Tuesday. So if you're watching this live, submissions open tomorrow for episode 179. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, submissions are already open, so make sure you go drop your tracks. But submissions do close when the show goes live. So if you see the show live, make sure you keep that as a rule of thumb, that when the show is live, submissions are closed. So again, you have roughly about I would say probably like 7 days, realistically. If we're getting technical, it's like 6 days. So you have plenty of time to get your tracks and submissions in. So just keep that in mind. But outside of that, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, if you have any more questions, feel free to DM us, man. Or you can go check out the guide on our YouTube channel as well, where we kind of break down how the Music Mondays podcast works, why we collect submissions on Twitter, and all that good jazz. I kind of broke it down in more detail for anybody that was curious. So that's on the channel right now as well. So make sure you go check that out and show that some love. So let's check out what we have for tonight. Because I know we have a couple of Patreons as well. So I believe our first Patreon of the night is going to be Jordan, and then our second Patreon of the night is going to be Mark. Let me just double check, make sure that those are the only two. Yes. Okay. So up first is Jordan, then we'll go Mark, and then we will get to the rest of the community submissions. Let's get it. All right. Jordan first. Again, Jordan, another artist who's multi-talented that I can't speak highly enough of. Again, has had a really solid 2024. And it's got to be one of the most versatile artists we have ever featured on the show, for sure, bar none. We've seen Jordan do literally everything from all types of rap styles to alternative styles to pretty much everything, man. So this is a multi-talented artist right here for sure. But they submitted a track titled Far Away. Let's see what we got. I Am Down. All right. 3 days ago. So super new. Lyrics and description. Far Away demo written and produced by Jordan. Art by the homie Michael. Make More Creative Junk link. And lyrics, like I said. All right. I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Far Away. Let's go. Nice little fade in.
The journey is not based on increasing success, rather on increasing awareness. I think I finally reached that point in my life where I need a stronger word than pain. Pain is running your life, is running your life, is running your life.
That's a crazy sample.
Promise you I don't expect much, just promise me. When that day comes, we don't say nothing, don't bother me. I've been looking for a way, being here's hard for me. I will never get over hoping you're proud of me.
Mmm.
Probably this part of me, control out of me, no one's stopping me. Ain't got no sleep, been hard to read. I'm starting to think that my heart to shrink. I'm out of sync the way I used to think. Used to be enough, I used to sleep enough.
Damn, man.
This up, I used to give a fuck. Used to dream of love, barely sleep for months. I'm not giving up. Used to be enough. Used to be enough. Be enough. Used to be enough. Used to sleep enough. Used to dream of stuff. Barely keeping up. I was feeling stuck. Barely sleeping months. Feel like giving up. I'm not giving up.
Wow.
This used to be enough. Used to sleep enough. Used to dream of stuff. Barely keeping up. I was feeling stuck. Barely slept a month. Feel like giving up. I'm not giving up. Let's wake me up. Never sleep enough. Losing faith and trust. Used to believe in love. Used to see enough. Used to give a fuck. Promise you I don't expect much. Just promise me that when that day comes, you don't say nothing, don't bother me. I've been looking far away. Being here is hard for me. Might never get over hoping that you're proud of me. Used to give a fuck. Used to dream enough. Barely sleep for months. I'm not giving up. Used to be enough. Used to sleep enough. Used to dream of stuff. Barely keeping up. I was feeling stuck. Barely slept in months. Feel like
I love this outro.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Now let's have some fun. I'ma try my luck. Last 2 years it sucked. Now I'm trying to run. Used to sleep enough. Used to be enough. Nightmares wake me up. Never sleep enough. Losing faith and trust. Used to believe enough. Used to sleep enough. Used to give
Mmm. The end. Okay. All right. So right off the bat, man. This is like my favorite version of Jordan. I love when they create tracks like this. So I'm automatically super biased towards this. I feel like this one's fantastic. It's very honest. You know, it's very very honest, but it's not like this overly sad energy at all either. I think it's just a very like honest present day how I'm feeling right now kind of track. Um, so let's break it down. Let's get into it because lots to discuss. So we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. Ethereal ass mix. Yes, very ethereal. Yes, that is a great word. Um, definitely was gonna absolutely say that for sure. I like that shout a lot. So let's talk instrumental. So self-produced, right? Jordan's has pretty much had quite a few tracks self-produced, right? Like I'd say about maybe like 50% of the submissions, or if not all of them, are produced by Jordan or Jordan had a hand in it, right? So this is a finely crafted instrumental. I feel like this works for what their vision is, and again, even though they're self-produced, right? They still have like a very specific vision, and I feel like Jordan definitely like really laid a good foundation with this instrumental for sure. Um, Mix is great. I mean, not really a shocker, but for anybody who's new here, Jordan has had a very consistent mix, and this is right along the lines of that as well. So yeah, not really a surprise, but a super tight, really well done mix. Kind of one of those mixes as to where, again, you guys know I always say this. When it comes to mixing those live instrument-based instrumentals, sometimes it can be a bit rough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, oh shit, this is a bitch, or sometimes it's really easy. But this one in particular, I think it was really well done. I have no gripes with this mix whatsoever. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. You know, I guess the obvious answer would be the melody, but I'm gonna go with the underrated aspect of this, which I think is the structure. I like the way that it was really structured out and how this progresses, where it drops, where it comes back in. I'm big on the structure here, so for me, definitely structure. But I do feel like melody was a close second for sure. Melody or drums, but if I'm being honest, definitely structure. Definitely. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Right. I think back to what Mark said. The whole ethereal kind of feeling is very much present in the vocals, but it has this like electronic auto tunish kind of feel to it as well, right? Which makes it like really, really alternative. And I think Jordan kind of hit the sweet spot when it comes to the vocal mix, because it's not trying to be electronic or do something that's like it's not trying to be, right? Like I don't think the mix is off or anything like that. I think the mix fits what this is perfectly, especially when you consider like what this song is about. I feel like the mix just kind of adds to the immersive quality here. So I'm big on the vocal mix again, to be honest with you. So yeah, vocals solid. Vocal shining star. Mm, hmm. I really like the writing. If I'm being really honest too, but the flow and cadence was something that made the whole track enjoyable. Like the flow and cadence was something that made you pay attention to the lyrics. Because sometimes certain flows just hook you in. You know what I mean? Like you could be saying fucking gibberish sometimes, but if it's just like a good flow, you're like, wait a second. You know what I mean? And it makes you pay attention to the lyrics more. So for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. But I would say writing is a close second. This is that very like honest, somewhat poetic Jordan kind of style of writing here. So I'm big on that too. But flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the structure, vocal solid, flow and cadence. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, far away. So, man, these types of like interesting somewhat like body shots but not really like it's always this insane kind of design when it comes down to Jordan or Make More Creative Junk tracks, right? Especially when Michael is on the art. I feel like they do such a good job creating this like dystopian eerie kind of feel, and this one is definitely right up the alley. But um I will say that the color palette is like such a standard that I love. You know what I mean? Like this color palette is something that we've seen from early Jordan tracks. Um so many Dead Lighters collabs, right? They have this like real interesting color palette here. And this one's kind of going in that direction as well. This tan, this orange, this red-ish kind of feel. So I like this one a lot, especially for a single, for sure. So, aesthetics on point, absolutely. Overall theme, far away. So realistically, you could take a lot from this. You could really take a lot from this. Um, you could kind of go the obvious route, right? And you're just like, oh yeah, this is kind of like how Jordan is feeling at the time, right? In current present day. Or you could kind of go deeper as to where it's almost like they're pulling away from all the older things in their life as well, right? Which I think a lot of us can relate to if you start to pull away from people and other things. And Jordan speaks on they used to get good sleep, they used to care, and a whole lot of like used tos. And I think that's such a reflection of just like looking back in your past, and you're just like, damn, this is like me progressing. Like progress isn't always like a beautiful thing. So when you talk about like how you feel in the present day, I feel like it's really healthy to address how you're feeling, even if it is kind of ugly. I think that's a really great thing to do, and you get a lot of like really good art out of it. You just get so many good pieces that are just almost time capsules in a way, because you can look back on it and be like, damn, I was fucked up during this, I was really happy during this, or whatever. You know what I mean? So you can associate a lot of songs with memories. So I feel like this is one that any artist would need to get out and really get off their chest. So I like the meaning behind it a lot. Super relatable to me. And anybody who even relates slightly, I think they'll really enjoy this one for sure. With that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud. They are 3 followers away from 80. Go get them to 80, man. God damn, go get Jordan to 80. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 440. Go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are 2 subscribers away from 280. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists and the channel the motherfucking love, baby. Let's get. So, continuing on, let's get into it. So we have one last Patreon of the night. Last, but of course, certainly not least, we got the homie King Mark. Now it's been, I would say, like a month or so since we've seen Mark here on the show. The last thing that they submitted was the Purple Heart emoji music video, actually. So this was like a somewhat of another return as well, right? Because Mark submissions are pretty scarce these days. So when we do get them, it's like a rare Pokemon or something. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely excited to get into this. But Mark, a very very talented vocalist, submitted "Give You Up." Okay, all right. So we're not even about to make any assumptions here. We're just gonna dive right in. Absolutely gonna dive right in. Need to lock back in on the submissions. On God, Mark was a staple here. Let's fucking get it, baby. So, 24 days ago, super new, not old whatsoever. Let's see here. Okay, some love in the comments. Credits, got a little lyrics and description. We love that too. Okay, little lyrics. All right. All right, let's get into it. King Mark, Give You Up. Let's go. It's gonna be a banger. Oh man. Oh shit. This one's gonna be tough, man. There's a lot of really great qualities about this. Like, a lot. Great fade out as well. Nice and long, too. Let the beat ride out a little bit. Like that a lot. Okay. So, you guys know the drill. Let's get into it. All right. Wow. So I feel like this is a track where we get like peak current Mark. I hate using the word peak, but I would say like this is like Mark on their A game. You know what I mean? Like really on their A game. Like everything that anyone likes about Mark or Mark's greatest qualities, all of them are in this track, right? Everything down to instrumental selection, to flow and cadence, to lyrics, to mix quality. Like literally everything is like at a crazy level, for sure. Especially if you take tracks from like 2022, even 2023, like comparing it to something like this is like a crazy skill jump, if I do say so myself. So, with that said, let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and talk about the overall theme of this track. So, all right, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is really solid. Young Mesa is a producer that Mark has been working with for quite some time now. We've reacted to a couple of their tracks here on the show, but I've heard a lot of their work, right? So this is a good duo when it comes to the like slowish, like plug and B mixed with pop, mixed with like hip hop, right? Like Mesa is like one of those go-tos for Mark for sure. Yeah, huge shout out to Mesa. Mesa definitely go super talented. Um, so yeah, this is not a shocker, right? But when it comes down to the mix itself, fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I think was like really off-putting or anything like that. Melody in particular was fantastic. Drums are very chill, right? So it's kind of like a layback, smoke and like almost relaxed kind of song. You know what I mean? But it bumps hard enough as to where you could slam it and it would make your speakers knock a little bit for sure. So instrumental mix solid for sure. Mm, instrumental shining star. You know, I really like the drums, like I said, but I'm gonna have to go with melody here. I feel like the melody was very memorable and very like Mark esque, right? And just so like positive and soothing. Like it was a very like kind of chill, almost video game like kind of melody, if you will. So yeah, definitely the melody for me, but drums are a close second. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. Mark has been doing their own mixing in house for quite some time. I know they have experimented with a few engineers here or there, but for the most part, a lot of the mixing for Mark is done in house, right? And they tend to lean more towards a lot of processing, a lot more of an electronic, electro kind of feel to it. And Mark has really mastered this style, right? Because this is a very easy style to do sloppy, but Mark doesn't do that. That's the thing with Mark's music is they take a style that I think again not a lot of people take seriously and really make it serious, right? Because quite obviously, like you could even see in the writing that they're talented, right? So when it comes to the mix, it's not only like a creative choice, but it's a style that they've developed over quite some time. You know what I mean? It took a while to really get here. Um, so I feel like this mix is like one of the best of current Mark in 2024. Not even a question. Because it's important to have like a definitive mix for certain styles and things like that. But at the same time, again, if you're gonna go for a more ambitious style, you really want to have it on lock and really take it serious, right? Because then you don't want to be in that section of people who just like crank the auto tune, pitch up the vocals, and post. You know what I mean? Just post the track instantly. Like you don't want to do that, man. Mark takes this style of vocal um creativity very seriously, for sure. So, with that said, vocal mix is fantastic to me. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So, um, vocal mix is definitely on point. Vocal shining star. Um, I really like the writing in general. I feel like there was a lot of fun bars here. There was a lot of like creative, writing, but I also do like flow and cadence. Flow and cadence and delivery is really one where I was like, okay, especially like towards like the later half of the song. I feel like flow and cadence like really shined, and your ears kind of like almost got used to it, I guess. Um, hmm. You know, I'm gonna say writing, just because I did take a liking to a lot of the punchlines and a lot of the funner bars and a lot of just like the simplicity of it. You know what I mean? Like it's real hip hop to its core, essentially at the end of the day, but it's just mixed in with Mark's style of electronic pop plug esque kind of vocals, right, and instrumental choice. So for me, definitely writing. I enjoyed the writing a lot. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Mark has done a really solid job with their aesthetics the last like 6 months or so, right? They've been super consistent when it comes down to their covers, their color palettes, their text. Like it's super consistent, and they're all homebrewed covers as well, right? So these are all IRL shots of Mark's current car, which is really fucking sick, So that's where I think more artists should kind of like try to have fun with cover art, right? When it comes down to like creating for yourself and like what you think would be good or not good and things like that. But Mark has a whole collection of these covers, and I think they're all fantastic. You know what I mean? Like it's good to have an aesthetic down for yourself. So I really think that's like super fucking important. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, give you up. I mean, really, it's in this one line. I mean, I can never give you up, right? And Mark goes on to talk about how it's tough to either give up vices, give up people, or just giving up in general, right? Like getting rid of some kind of like toxic either relationships or people or just like shitty things in life is always going to be hard, right? Much like the last track, it's one of these tracks where I feel like you like if you have something to get off your chest, you really should. Especially when it comes down to tracks and music and writing, I feel like it's very important to like get these thoughts out on paper and actually perform it, right? Because for one, it's good for you, but two, like you never know who's going to be able to relate to that, you know what I mean, and really understand where you're coming from, right? Because I really think music is at the end of the day about relatability, right? And what songs kind of hit you the most at the right time, you know? So I feel like if this song kind of like hits somebody at the right time, man, it might really make their month, you know? Like it's truly one of those tracks. Again, much like the last one, as to where these raw, real, emotional songs are always going to be good for the library, man. Always. So, with that said, huge shout out to Mark. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go show some love to Mark on SoundCloud. They are 7 followers away from 200. That is a great milestone on SoundCloud. That is fantastic. And of course, make sure you follow Mark on Twitter. They are 10 followers away from 350. So go get them 350, baby. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 3 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good jazz is up there, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. Ree, what's good? Welcome on in. Happy Monday, my friend. Let's fucking get it. I hope you're doing well. Let's go. Happy Music Monday to you as well. We out. So let's continue on. That was all of our patrons for the night. So huge shout out to Jordan and Mark and the rest of our patrons. Ryuki, Kruger, Dry My Eyes, Blank Thought, and the rest of our Patreon crew, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. So, let's dive into some community submissions, man. We have some newer faces. We have some returning faces. We have a little bit of a variety of content, if you will. So, let's get into it. First is the homie Onwuka. Now, it's really crazy the output that Onwuka has had, right? It's been such a pleasure being able to react to their submissions every week, right? Like we've gone through pretty much all of their lyric videos. So speaking of that, they actually have another one for us this week. Now, Onwuka, a very, very talented hip hop vocalist, submitted Oregon Trail lyric video. Snap, Music Mondays inspired me to get another lyric video done. This one is called Oregon Trail by Insomniwuka on Fatal Fate Tales. Trying to make a fun anthem track for this one. All right, I'm down for the cause. Let's pop it open a new tab. Let's see what we got. So for those of you that are new here and haven't seen or dove into these lyric videos, Onwuka and crew have been creating some of the best lyric videos that I have seen in 2024 and period, to be honest with you. They're just some of the most like in your face fun lyric videos, right? Like this is like peak lyric video to me. Especially just thinking about it from like a viewer perspective. So I'm excited to dive into a new one. This is 10 days old, so super new. Let's get into it. Onwuka, Oregon Trail lyric video. Full screen, 720, full volume, and we're out. Let's do this.
Can you show me how you work that wagon like it's organ swing? Yeah, trying to be all up in the body, moving like organs and sayings. Meet up at the gang, a main they sipping, jamming, snorting sales. Yet I keep my ears to the street like I'm haunting with being saying. We sitting believing through bills like when you starting to make it. Getting green on top of green like orcs and Korok hits with K. Making a big waves in town, more than an enormous belt. A heavy bird we carry like a tortoise. Sail as well as have to earn instead of burning percent. Burning like Robbie Reyes and Johnny Blaze. Goes riding through a course of hell. I've got more of a story to tell, but first just hear the beat. Let's
Okay.
hear the beat. Let's just hear the beat. Let's listen to how it was. How it was on. Baby, baby, show me how you work that wagon like it's organ scraper. Create
The
my own
wagon.
fate, having no need for a fortune taker. Unavailed, imagine that conic seems like I'm lost in a way. And some the root could come and sound like some storming hate. Baby, show me how you work that wagon like it's organ scraper. Create my own fate, having no need for a fortune taker. Unavailed, imagine that conic seems like I'm lost in a way. And some the root could come and sound like some storming like some robbers stealing from a train on the array. So we going in on this organ it's making in harder than when a blacksmith forged a nail. Rocking for profit like copping some ores to store and say killing the drop of the beast's body to dispose of hail. You could save the grumble, you be doing that Dexter Morgan sale like on the phone sports.
Damn.
It appears my sources tail me of a big old wagon on this organ trail. No caps on the running back like a running back now. And in fact, running back like Brady with his divorce from Gazelle. This
Oh,
cunning
shit.
bitch when I feast like a panther that tore up
Oh,
a
shit.
gazelle. If she give me a hair longer than a horse's bell, riding on that wagon like an Arthur Morgan on that organ trail.
Just hear the beat.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
hear the beat. Let's just hear the beat. Let's listen to how it works.
How it was, baby, show me how you work that wagon like it's organ scraper. Create my own fate, having no need for a fortune taker. Unveil, imagine that conic seems like a morse in a way.
I see the vision.
And some the roof that coming down like some storming hate. Baby, show me how you work that wagon like it's organ scraper. Create my own fate, having no need for a fortune taker. Unveil, imagine that conic seems like a morse in a way. And some the roof that coming down like some storming hate. Baby, show me how you work that wagon like it's organ scraper. Create my own fate, having no need for a fortune taker. Unveil, imagine that conic seems like a morse in a way. And some the roof that coming down like some storming hate.
Solid footage too, like really solid clip choices. So this kind of hits the mark for me, much like the other ones. Like it totally has that like a really entertaining factor to it. Like truly entertaining factor. Which is why I'm like, okay, like I get it here. I see the vision. So what's really fun about this too is like I feel like Onwuka takes on a lot of instrumentals and a lot of themes and a lot of projects that I think a lot of artists wouldn't want to challenge themselves with, right? I think Onwuka really likes to push their skill ceiling and really tries to like fully go outside the box, which is so like it's so cool to see, you know what I mean? Because they've done so many different themes and so many different styles that it's like it's hard to tell what you're about to get because they are so versatile. So wow. This was cool. This was really cool. All right. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the vocals, and we're gonna talk about the lyric video. So let's talk instrumental. So of course we have Insomniac on the instrumental. And man, like the highlight of this, man, is it's just got to be the hook. It's got to be the hook. Uh, just the way the samples utilized and everything about it, man. But the mix is great too. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely, sound selection solid. Nothing that I heard that was like kind of off-putting or anything like that. I'm big on the mix for sure. So, instrumental mix very solid. Instrumental shining star. Like I said, man, it's got to be the sample. It's got to be the sample. I like the drums, but the sample is really up there for me. Got to be the sample. 100%. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. So, when it comes to vocals, vocal mix, fantastic. Not really a shocker, right? Because we've pretty much heard enough of Onwuka now as to where we know that they have a really solid, like, natural voice, right? And they like to exploit that and really just, you know, keep the processing pretty minimal and really kind of like let that natural, like, hip-hop-esque style shine. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to these like more obscure instrumentals. I feel like they do a really good job with that. Like really good job with that. So yeah, no shocker. Vocal mix solid. Not really a surprise for myself, but for anybody who's new here, definitely gotta mention it for sure. So vocal mix great. Um, vocal shining star. Um, the wagon line in the hook is actually really clever. Um, but I think writing in general though is really solid for what the theme is. You know what I mean? Like for a track about the Oregon Trail, it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. So, um, you gotta be writing. You gotta be writing. I like the flow and cadence as well, but writing for me definitely like hit the sweet spot. Um, so definitely writing. Instrumental solid, definitely a sample. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the lyric video. So, this one is like totally hitting every box when it comes to like the Western cowboy, Oregon Trail, old timey kind of vibe, right? But again, it's not going too classic as to where like it's like really old. It kind of has like this vibe of like modern cowboy esque, right? So, the choice of clips is fantastic. I love the choice of clips for sure. Like it totally made this lyric video outside of the lyrics themselves. Like the clips were just perfectly well curated. So I'm big on that. Um, but again, I think the lyrics are the shining star here, man. Like the way that they're edited every time just to have them flash on screen, and here we have like the blood and like a lot of the smaller effects that are just like really supporting this is super solid. So for me, shining star, when it comes to the lyric video, definitely the lyrics. Um, that's been such like a main attraction for me for so long. It's just so cool to see and really well done and really unique too. You know what I mean? Like you don't see people do lyric videos like this often, especially like with this much effort. So well done, well done. Huge shout out to Onwuka. Thank you so much for their submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're 8 subs away from 60. So go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you follow Onwuka on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 760. Go show them some love over there on the bird at my friends. Let's fucking go. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Much love. Let's fucking go. So, all right, you guys know the drill, man. Let's continue on. And huge shout out to Onwuka. That was crazy. All right, up next, we have the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring has been really killing it with their submissions lately. They've been submitting a bit of their artwork, a bit of their poetry, kind of diving into the other sides of Offspring, right? Because I've always said that Offspring is one multi-talented artist, right? For everything from production to video editing to so many other things, man. They have really covered all angles in a full self-producing machine for sure, like absolutely. But they submitted a art piece titled Dunketized. Now, word on the street is he's the best he's the best rim protector in Walking Onslaught's basketball league history. Okay, so this is on page 1. Let's give it a whirl. I'm down. I always really like these more kind of like unique submissions, especially coming from Offspring for sure. So let's see here. All right. Walking Onslaughts, Love Spell, Hand of God. Uh, Keep Going, Fiery Haze, Autumn Massacre. That is a fire. That is a fire name. I like that name a lot. Let's see. Selection. Hmm. Almost Wrecking Chair. I feel like it's coming out soon. Let's see here. Because we gotta get the full quote for sure. Well, let's see. Fate or Destiny. Sideline. Massive Faith. Walk Away. Dunketize. All right, we got it. All right, I'm down. All right, so caption. Y'all know me. I love going hard to the paint. When I see an opportunity to catch a body, I take it with pride. Too bad I shattered Adala Springs' pride. He was known as the best rim protectors in the league. Me and him had a game against each other. I was hyped for this day. Me and him was going back and forth in interviews on who blocking who. I told him I was going to baptize him, and he said he was going to block my soul. When we met on the court, we had a stare down that lasted 2 minutes straight. Neither of us was giving an inch, and we heard the buzzer sound. We told each other to see you in the game. The whole game, both of us was defending each other. Lockdown, defense, steals, getting each other's heads. A lot of shit talking. We were in the middle of the fourth quarter. The score was even. During our timeout, our coach was telling us how to penetrate paint. He trusted me to do it. When our timeout was over, I got hyped up before my teammate inbound ball, and I told him, I'll give you a warning. I'm baptizing that man's soul. He looked at me like I was crazy, but he knows how crazy I am. When he passed me the ball, both sides cleared the paint. It was only me and a Dollar Spring. Man, this was going to be the most iconic moment in Walking Onslaught's basketball history. I ran on a head full of steam to the paint. Dollar Spring stepped up to block me. Me and him jumped at the same time when we got close. He had the ball in his hand. He thought he blocked me. But my will was stronger than his heart. When I got close to the rim, I felt his body heading towards the ground. I looked at the rim, destroyed it with the most powerful slam of all time. Slammed the ball so hard that ripped the rim off the backboard. Man, listen, I had an entire stadium screaming their lungs out. The benches were jumping up and down. Even the coach got hype. I looked at the sky, let a loud scream that echoed the stadium. I saw a Dollar Spring laid out on the ground. My petty ass turns around and said, somebody put on my t-shirt because I just got a body. Holy shit. Okay, now we need context because this is crazy. That was so well written. Holy fuck. The way that Offspring kind of sets the stage here is always great, right? I feel like no matter the art piece, I feel like they really set a nice stage. But this one in particular, absolutely fantastic. This has this like childlike-esque feel to it, right? I definitely feel like it's bringing almost like a coloring crayon kind of feel to it, but it's very much deep fried, right? Again, much like last week's piece, I feel like the more you look at this one, the more you're gonna see. But I feel like the main attraction here got to be the foreground. You know what I mean? It really, really has to be the foreground because again, it's bringing that childlike wonder for me, but it's also drawing the line of like fantasy, and things like that. So I really feel like it's one of those like, okay, let's see how much we can hide, but also how much we can reveal as well. So it's kind of blurring the line, right? But Shining Star's got to be the foreground. I really like the color palette though. You know what I mean? But this school like kind of look is really solid for me. Like really, really solid. So well done, Offspring. Well done. With that said, make sure you go check out Offspring's Art Museum. There's a ton of pieces in here that I'm sure all of you guys will absolutely enjoy. They've done a lot of work here in their art museum, so definitely go check it out and go show it some love. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 890 or 15 away from 900. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love. So let's fucking get it, baby. All right. And huge shout out to everybody that already has subscribed and showed the channel some love, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Up next would be the homie TDG, but they submitted very late when submissions actually already closed. So we're gonna wrap back around to TDG. And we'll do them at the end of the show, once we have time. So, up next is the homie Survival in Negativity, aka Sin. Now again, another wonderfully talented hip-hop artist has submitted a track titled Poetry in Motion. Rally for Reality, Poetry in Motion, from our first compilation, The Vault Mixtape Part 1, a collection of old Lucy's over industry beats recorded between 06 and 2012. This one is over Doomsday by MF Doom, R.I.P. Let's get into it. I'm down. Okay, so let's bump this in a new tab. All right, let's get it. Survival Negativity, Rally for Reality, Poetry in Motion. Let's go. Vibe. Your vibe.
My mind's made up. I make a mind mania. Cranium makes the craziest thoughts into the craziest art. You pick apart with your thought particles, all like words and all. The part of you that's cool with logical thought. The food of logical part to make a parable
on you. Get wet willies when you hear entry in my diary. It's like musical poetry, no emotion over me, holding me close, spitting notable quotes, molding me, loading me, and showing me the poetry in motion, and mixing lyrics into melody, lyrical focus.
Ghetto Edgar Allen. Meditate on a desolate island, looking for beats that present me a challenge. Baltimore's Buddha monk, never for balance, but balance. For my one-way trip to the Seven Palace from Doomsday. But until then, we keep the crowds getting down and make a better team than Theo and Alvin, or Theo and Ralph. And well, you get the point. Ain't a thing to bring the noise, just prefer to move in silence. Right. The bad B-boys, we never got the footing right, so we stayed up at night, doing the opposite of the D-boys. We deploy the skill for the rail to rally round, gather round, let us bask in the glow like Bruce Leroy. Remain true to the game, ain't moving the same as lame niggas who were never suited for this.
Oh,
game.
shit.
Fame, fine, let them have it. We'd rather have the status of two craftsmen, two masters, and that's it.
Oh, the outro. The fucking outro, man. Let the beat right out. I like it. I like it. Lots of solid outros today. Well done. Absolutely well done, man. All right. Excellent. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of this track. So, man, where to even begin? I mean, the instrumental choice in general is like really fantastic, right? I mean, classic, MF Doom, right? So kind of like a no-brainer, like super, super cool choice there. But as for the beat itself and the instrumental, fantastic. I mean, obviously these are just industry beats, right? And kind of things that are already like fully produced and whatnot, but still, I will say the mix is solid. You know, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that really like stuck out to me that was like off-putting or anything like that. And again, like the sample is so well utilized here that it's just so sick, so sick. But yeah, instrumental mix solid. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing that really, again, like I said, threw me off at all, to be honest. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, it's got to be the sample, right? Like, I like the drums too, but the sample is like, wow, you know? Yeah, definitely a sample. I feel like Melody's a close second too, but definitely a sample. Definitely a sample for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. From both of Rally, I feel like was solid. Like, you could kind of tell that this was like maybe a bit older, right? Because these are tracks from like 06 to like 2012-ish area, right? So I feel like it was possibly a bit older, but not by much. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the older tracks from Sin are just like just as good as today's, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like their music aged really well. And I do feel like this song kind of shows that, to be completely honest with you. Like, it just aged so well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no gripes on the mix at all. And again, both of them kind of have really solid natural voices, right? So, kind of one of those things as to where you don't want to go too crazy on the processing, but of course everything's nice and cleaned up, nice and polished and things like that, right? Right where it needs to be, realistically. Nice and level, nothing's too loud or anything like that. Yeah, I would say the vocal mix is right where it needs to be, especially, you know, when you consider it being like an older track. It's like, holy shit, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck me. So, vocal mix, very solid. Vocal Shining Star has got to be flow and cadence. 100% flow and cadence, for sure. Flow and cadence made this song so enjoyable to listen to be honest with you. And really makes you just dive into the lyrics more, you know, much like I said earlier in the show. Sometimes certain flows and cadences just immediately hook you right in. This is definitely one of those for me, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the sample. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. aesthetics. The Vault, part one. So this was I believe we reacted to something from the Vault Part 2, but not Part 1, because we haven't reacted to this cover, I don't think. Which, by the way, this is one of my favorite covers from Sin, to be honest with you. Like, these Vault Project covers are actually fucking insane. Like Part 2 is right here. Like, really creative. Like, really, really creative. I'm big on the art direction here. Like, really, really fucking big on it. Um, but yeah, aesthetics for a whole project. I mean, what more could you want, right? I mean, track list, credits down at the bottom, and the vault aesthetic is like perfect. You know, like really, really solid. So, aesthetics absolutely on point, no question. Overall theme. I mean, poetry in motion, right? I wouldn't say that there's like a super deep theme here because they pretty much like the point of the project, right, is just using a bunch of like mainstream industry beats and like kind of like really destroying them. To be honest with you. So yeah, it kind of has that like cipher esque, almost freestyle kind of style, but not really. Um, yeah, I wouldn't look too hard for a theme here. I would definitely just enjoy this for what it is and the writing, 100%, and just really try to enjoy the skill in the writing and the overall um just amount of gems to just pick through here in some of these bars is just crazy. It's just so crazy. So well done. Well done. Huge shout out to Survival Negativity. Huge shout out to Rally for Reality. Make sure you go follow them on Bandcamp. And of course, make sure you follow Sin on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 390 or 12 followers away from, or no, 18 actually. So they're very close, man. Go get them to 400, man. Go get them to 400. Go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there. So go show these artists in the channel some fucking love. Get it. If you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you at Music Mondays. Much, much love. We see you drop a like, drop a comment, all that good jazz, man. You guys are awesome, so thank you. Okay, so let's see here. Up next, we do have a first time submitting artist, an individual by the name of Bowtied Piano Man. This is a nocturne I wrote for my son when he was born. I would practice and play it when he was napping in his swing. Damn, okay. Bowtied Piano Man. Self-taught pianist, guitar player by trade, just a guy living the family life and making music. Love to hear that. Dog chasing cars out now. Okay. So yeah, we're not gonna make any assumptions here. First time submitting artists, we know nothing about their style or anything like that. So we are just gonna dive right in. So, let's go 720. All right, Loose Got Keys, aka Bowtie Piano Man, Jay's Nocturne. Oh, this is great already. How peaceful. Melodies are great here. Good. Wow. Holy shit. Well done, man. That was a great first time submission. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Nice little cutoff there. All right. Wow. That was fantastic. That was very like organic, peaceful, very chill. Well done. Well done. Okay, so obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Jay's Nocturne. So, instrumental mix. Fantastic. Absolutely nothing wrong with this mix whatsoever. I love the levels of everything. Melodies are great. Structure's great. Nothing that really stuck out to me about the mix that was off-putting at all. Nothing was too loud. Very even and right where it needed to be honest with you. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Now, two things came to mind, right? Like the melodies are great, especially the counter melodies awesome. But the structure's also great. You know what I mean? Because 3 minutes and 40 seconds for an instrumental is a bit long, but you can make it work if you have a little bit of variety. And that's what we have here, a little bit of variety. When everything kind of breaks down and then everything kind of comes back in, it's all placed really finely. So that's kind of why I'm big on the structure here. I could say melodies, but I think I'm going to go with structure, to be honest with you. Just because it made the journey of it all and um the experience a lot more enjoyable, and anybody who enjoys this style of instrumental is gonna like that about this, right? Because it's not just a loop. So um definitely structure for sure. Overall theme. So realistically, producers and people who release instrumentals always have the pleasure of kind of creating their own themes for certain tracks and things, right? Because they, speak through their instrumentals because they don't do vocals. So when it comes down to this theme, we pretty much had it on lock. This is a nocturne I wrote for my son when he was born. I would practice it and play it when he was napping in his swing. So thus the name Jay's Nocturne, a very special track that is super fucking cool. Fantastic. You know what I mean? Like one of those like very sentimental kind of tracks that you're gonna look back on in years fire regardless. So I love that this like saw the light of day. You know what I mean? I love that. So super super fantastic. Aesthetics before we go. Dogs chasing cars. I love the originality here, right? Like it's such a like perfect IRL picture. Obviously I assume it's their dog, right? And for a project titled Dog Chasing Cars, I definitely think this works for sure. Again, kind of another art piece where you can look back on it and be like, I'm glad I did that kind of thing. Definitely one kind of theme and project it's just great for the library, man. Like super super great for the library. So overall theme fantastic. I think it's very personal and I'm glad that this saw the light of day. Like, with that said, well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Lou Scott Keys, aka Bowtie Piano Man. Make sure you go sub to their channel. We're gonna drop them a sub as well. Now they are 8 subs away from 10 on their topic, so go show them some love. And of course, make sure you follow Bowtied Man on Twitter. They are 7 followers away from 320, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz, man. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Well, let's fucking get it. So we're about halfway through the show, so that means we're going to take a quick commercial break. So for those of you that are here or you're watching at home, make sure you go get up, stretch, get a drink, get a snack, bathroom break, things like that. And when we return, we'll be heading right back into our community submissions. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Podcast, episode 178. I hope you all had a good break, but it is time to get back into it. So, go. Mag on Twitch, welcome, my friend. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Let's get it. So, let's continue on here, my friends. We left off with a first-time submitting artist, Bow-Tied Piano Man. Up next, we have the homie Saint Wave. Now, man, I don't know when the last time Saint Wave has submitted to the show. It's definitely been some time. But they are a Music Mondays regular, for sure. A very, very talented, versatile vocalist. Submitted their new track Tuesday. New drop. Let's get it, Saint Wave. I'm down. So, pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Tuesday. I love the aesthetic as well. All right, let's get into it. Tuesday, Saint Wave. Let's go.
Hey, you found me in the bay. Hey,
Oh shit.
every day. Hey, found a way to get paid. Lit up in the function. Put on something fly. Yeah, I'm stunning. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Hopped out, but out the crew.
Okay.
Right out the crew, popped out. Looking fly fresh in the spot. Hey, I didn't wanna drive. Hey, but I had to drop the top. Wait, every day. I wake up, I get paid. Hey, I found a new way. Hey, and I had to take a trip out to the bay. Cause you're my baby, now you gotta stay. How you gonna wake up, then just go to sleep? It ain't even that deep. The phone's super steep. There's a star I gotta reach. Hey, and I'm sitting on the ledge. Wave on a Tuesday, and the frequency will take you to space. Hey, 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 hey. I ain't got words to say, so I'ma waste them. They copied and they paste them, and I just need a paste up. They charging for the way up. Ay, and I done lost a lot. Ay, but I'm still out on top. Wait, and they just want me to stop, cause they don't wanna drop. How I end up on top.
Okay.
I think it's only Tuesday.
The production on this was really crazy. Like, really, really insane. That was a feel-good kind of song. You know, Saint Wave is so good at this kind of style of just, like, feel-good-esque music, you know? Like, super, super solid. All right, you guys know the drill. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Tuesday. Relatively obvious theme, I would say, but we're still obviously gonna talk about it. So, let's go instrumental. I like the choice. I definitely feel like it's a very Saint Wave-esque instrumental for sure. Definitely their style of like fast paced, like alt pop, dance, somewhat like electro kind of feel too. So definitely right up their alley when it comes to their sound. So I like the choice, definitely. Instrumental mix. Fantastic. I mean, not really a shocker, right? Everything we've heard from Saint Wave has always been super well engineered, all the way down to the production. So for this, not really a shocker, but for those of you that are new here, absolutely fantastic, 100%. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice, drums are nice and fast. Sound selection, like I said, is great. Nothing that really comes to mind that's like super off, you know. So yeah, instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Mm, I would say, um, I really like the drums, man, but there's so many really great aspects to this. Because, like, you could talk about the structure, because the intro, outro, all the effects. You talk about, um, melody, because the melody is very, like, fast paced as well. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, probably the drums, man. The drums are just, like, keeping up so much of the rhythm and a lot of the energy of this track. So for me, gotta be the drums. And the sound selection on the drums great too. Like super super great. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Saint Wave tends to be like somewhat more like a melodical esque artist. So when it comes to their mix, it's got to be on point, right? Like they definitely need to have like a solid mix. And this is one where I would say the mix perfect, right where it needs to be. Not even a question. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that really comes to mind as like super overdone or anything like that. I feel like again, right where it needs to be for this style for sure. Um, yeah, no gripes with the vocal mix whatsoever. Um, hmm, vocal shining star. Um, it could be the flow and cadence. To be honest with you, writing's up there, but the flow and cadence was not only catchy, but it was like motivational. Like it made you want to move. If the instrumental didn't do it, the flow and cadence definitely would have. You know what I mean? So, yeah, flow and cadence for me, definitely. Writing is like a close second though. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I love the art direction, like I said at the start, because it's just this simple direction, right? Like this is not overthinking it is what this is. And plus it just looks really solid, and sometimes these like plain covers are like super attractive, like especially for singles, right? I wouldn't say for a project maybe, like it depends, right? Like what your vision is. But me personally, I like these styles of more like a minimalistic simple esque covers for sure. This one in particular has that like digital feel to it as well, so real solid. Real solid. Um so overall theme, I mean, realistically definitely in the hook, but there's a couple of ways that you could take this. You know what I mean? But this is also like a very in your face kind of track, right? You don't have to really dig too deep for a meaning. And it's definitely gonna make you want to get up and move, right? This is definitely gonna go in like your running gym chores esque playlist, you know what I mean? Because it's just one of those ones that really makes you want to get up and move. It's simple, it's fun, got a good mood to it, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Saint Wave. Thank you so much for the submission, friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are approaching 1.1K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive, a lot of good jazz is available on the channel, man. So we'll show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here. Let's fucking get it. So, with that said, let's continue on, my friends. Okay, so we left off with the homie Saint Wave. Up next is the homie Braden, a very, very hardworking vocalist, man. So versatile. We actually have them on our upcoming album dropping this Friday, June 21st, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But, again, Braden, a very, very talented vocalist, made a track titled Don't. Last single, Feeling Blue, 621. Let's go. I'm down. Last single, baby. I know their last submission was really crazy. If you didn't see episode 177, definitely go watch that. But I'm down, man. Let's get into it. Braden, Don't. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Bitch, I'm going stupid. We go crazy, we go ruthless. Bitches wanna do me. We gon' shoot it like a movie. All it takes is one day to lose me.
Oh shit. Crazy outro incoming? Okay, so definitely another one where it's just gonna make you want to get up and move, man. Like the beat is interesting, the structure's great. I think the hook is like obviously the main course here. I definitely think the hook is something you're absolutely gonna return for if you enjoy this track, right? So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Don't. So, let's talk instrumental. A very interesting instrumental choice. Not that it's out of Braden's realm, right? I definitely don't think that. It's just very fast paced, right? And has like a lot of energy. So I do feel like this is a one of their more, I guess, lesser seen styles these days, right? Because they've been really diving into a few different styles. But when it comes down to this, it's like, okay, bro, like this is a real side of Braden where I'm just like, holy shit, like they can do anything. Much like I said at the start, a very versatile artist, right? So, um, hmm. So instrumental mix. Let's start there. Fantastic to be honest with you. Nothing clash too overbearing. Drums definitely cut through nice. Braden usually has a very solid mix, especially when it comes to their tracks in general, right? So not really a shocker here, but for those of you that are new and may not know that, yes, Braden has a very consistent mix for sure. So definitely something we want to point out. Um, yeah, no gripes with the instrumental at all. Instrumental Shining Star. Now, for me, it's got to be drums. I'm gonna go ahead and say drums for sure, just because of the 808 in specific is like really well done. I like the pattern on it. I like the sound selection on that. So I got to be the drums. I feel like melody's a close second, but definitely drums for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix fantastic. Now this is another artist that kind of can do any style of you know music they really want, realistically, right? And they always like adjust their mix around whatever they're doing at the time, right? So this one has a little bit more of like a melodic tone to it, but it's also more like pop, like alt pop, kind of fast paced. This is why I feel like the mix here on this particular track is fantastic, just because it fits the style. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important thing is to like you don't have to really worry about keeping a consistent style on certain shit. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow, and certain tracks will pan out. You know what I mean? And this one I felt like they had a vision, but regardless, mix is great. Definitely a solid mix for sure. Nothing that really stuck out to me that was off either. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier though, not really a shocker. But always worth a mention for anybody new. So vocal Shining Star. Um, I mean it's gotta be the hook, right? Like you can hear that in your head now, you know what I mean? Like that's it's got this rhythm, it's catchy, it's what a hook is essentially supposed to do. It definitely hooks you in for sure. But writing in general is solid though. Yeah, probably the hook. Probably the hook to be honest with you. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Now, much like I mentioned last week, Braden has been diving into a new aesthetic style when it comes to this blue tinted IRL, almost somewhat like retro photo kind of direction, right? In which I'm a huge fan of. I was speaking on that last week. But when it comes down to this one, I love the eeriness of it. It definitely passes as like a horror cover, but it's also like one of those like dreamlike, mystical, ethereal kind of covers as well. So I love it regardless. Especially with the blue theme though, like they're really keeping up the whole blue direction. So I think that's super solid. Overall theme, don't literally in the hook, right? It's really the simple title for it, right? And I feel like again, Braden made a really solid, fast pace, get hyped, get up and move type of track, right? And again, this one kind of proves their versatility as an artist. Like we've seen them do almost every style now, from pop to alt pop, rock, alt rock, rap, hip hop, boom bap, R&B, trap, jerk, jazz, you name it. Like we've pretty much dove into everything from Braden. So this one is really cool to see because again, this is a style that I feel like they don't explore much in present day right now. So these are always like really cool to see. Um, well, at least on the show anyway, right? But fantastic, my friend. Well done. Make sure you go follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are 10 followers away from 70, so go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Much love. Let's fucking get it. So, let's continue on. I do believe we have a first-time submitting artist up next right now. The homie Drew on the beat. Music producer, recording artist, graphic designer, wrestling enthusiast. We love wrestling. Let's get it. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Let's go Niners. Love that bio. Let's go. Well, that's positive. Let's go. I like that. But yeah, Drew on the beat, first time submitting artist. So we're gonna go in blind. We know nothing about Drew, so this will be a pleasure. So, they submitted a track titled "No Gimmicks." This dropped 2 weeks ago, so super new. Got some love in the comments. We love that. Excellent. Minute 46. All right, let's get into it. Drew on the beat, No Gimmicks. First time submitting artist. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey,
Some real like raw trap for sure.
hey. This ain't no motherfucking gimmick. I don't just talk it, I live it. Have them all talking like critics. Make the word flip like Olympics. This ain't no motherfucking gimmick. I don't just talk it, I live it. Have them all talking like critics. Make the word flip like Olympics. Finger flipping, count it up and dipping. I'm allergic to pockets on low. Money stacking, this is more than rapping. Yes, believe I'ma need me some more. No more capping, cause it really happened. I remember way back I was po. Wipe they nose, I'ma need a napkin. It's that Drew on the beat, they're like, whoa. I get on the track and I'm making a mess like a bitch when she swallowed the glizzy. I need me a towel, I'm up in the bowels, I'm swimming like in Mississippi. Many men wishing death on me, so I walk around thinking like 50. Think you hard, but you really playing. This ain't Disneyland, you a Mickey. Keep it real, ain't no train of thought in the field like I'm going to war. This time it be going up like I'm Curry, I run up the score. Streets is watching, this my only option. I'ma have them all itching for more. If you opting, then your body dropping. I'm like Biggie, I kick in the door. Ay,
Oh shit.
this ain't no motherfucking gimmick. I don't just talk it, I live it. Have them all talking like critics. Yeah. This ain't no motherfucking gimmick. I don't just talk it, I live it. Don't make me compare you a visit. Hey.
Ayo, Drew, you killed this beat.
Well done. Solid. That was a really solid first time submission, man. Okay. So we have a very like raw hip hop esque trap style here, but it's still very like independent and unique, right? It's definitely not like cookie cutter by any means. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of No Gimmicks. Instrumental, yeah, like I said, it has that real like raw OG kind of trap feel to it, but a very more modern kind of sound, right? But the mix is great. I think clashing to overbearing, drums are solid, sound selection solid. Nothing that I really like kind of noticed that was a bit off at all. I feel like it's solid right where it is. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. Yeah, nothing really that I'm thinking back on that really stood out to me that was off or anything like that. So definitely no gripes with the instrumental. Instrumental shining star. I mean, the melody's up there. I feel like the melody's very memorable, but I feel like the drums are solid. Like that 808 is pretty much unforgettable, right? So for me, it's got to be the drums, definitely. But the melody's like a close second. Let's see here. So definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. Nothing clashing, nothing too overbearing. Nothing that really stuck out to me that was off about this either. they have this nice like raw natural kind of style, so you don't really want to like go too crazy with processing, right? Just make sure it's cleaned up a little bit, make sure the vocals are sitting nice and things like that. But the mix is solid, especially for this style. Definitely no gripes there either. Definitely not. A very safe, simple, and like comfortable mix for vocals. Absolutely. Um, hmm. Vocal shining star. Um, you know, it could be writing in general. There was a lot of like fun punchlines in here and a lot of like serious ones too. But Flowing Canes was up there too, and the hook. Mm, Probably writing, to be honest with you. Yeah, just writing throughout the whole track was like very entertaining to listen to, right? And just picking out these bars was like a very like cool thing to do. So for me on the first listen, definitely writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics, no gimmicks. I love the addition of the rated R. Um, the rated R restricted tag in the left. I think that was a really solid addition. Simple but a really effective cover. Parental advisory in the right, no gimmicks in Drew on top with kind of like almost like an ominous kind of image, right? Like it's again going for like a minimalist style, and I think it works out for this one. You know what I mean? Like it definitely works out for this one, especially the way that it's done, like that paper s kind of look, really solid, especially for a single, right? So, aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, it's quite literally in the title, right? No gimmicks. So Drew's talking about being real, really standing 10 toes and living what they talk about, and there's a lot of like real punchlines in here, right? But I do feel like there's a little something for everybody, right? Because it's not super serious for the whole track, but at the same time it's a very serious track. But I feel like Drew did a good job kind of like drawing that line in the sand and um focusing on their message, but at the same time like actually caring about their writing, right? So well done, well done. With that said, huge shout out to Drew on the beat. Thanks so much for this, my friend. Much love. They're approaching 1.6K on YouTube, and we're going to subscribe and show them some love, so make sure you do as well. And of course, make sure you go follow Drew on Twitter. They are approaching 2.9K on the Bird app. That is a W milestone, so make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Whole podcast episode, 2 segments, whole lot of good jazz over there. Make sure you go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love, my friends. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's get it. Okay, so we left off with the homie Drew on the beat. That was actually a first time submitting artist. That was really well done. Up next, we have the homie Ozzy Bug. They have been killing it. Like I said last week, with their rollout for their project, and they've just been going super hard with visuals and promo, and really like doing a good job following this up. So, a very talented vocalist, Ozzy Bug, has submitted a track titled Kismet, directed by Lil Wet Wet, of course. So this is a W duo for sure. But let's see what we got here, because I am down. All right, pop this over, new tab. Let's go. Wait, give it a quick pause. We'll go full volume. Go 720. 7 days ago, 130 views. Shot on iPhone in Monroe, Louisiana. Shot and directed by Wet Wet and as well as styled by Ozzy. All the links in the description, of course. Lots of love in the comments. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. I'm down. Ozzy Bug, Kismet, official music video. Let's go. beat is crazy. Shit. That drop was crazy.
Fuck it, dude. Who else
Fuck
got
it. Well done, man. See, another really solid visual, but the really cool thing here is like we've been getting a lot of variety from them, right? Like everything from the Clay-esque video to more like city-centered videos to this one kind of being shot in Louisiana, you know what I mean? So the variety here is like what the fuck, you know? So that's what I really like about these. But of course, directed by Lil Wet Wet, so you know either way it was going to be a banger. But with that said, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official music video. So, okay, the instrumental, I love the choice, right? Because out of all the tracks that we've reacted to over the last couple episodes, right, I think this one is the most hype and aggressive, right? Definitely like is in your face and really like out there. So I love the choice from Ozzy. Especially for this one. I just like the high energy of this for sure. Um, so a mix, fantastic. Per usual, nothing clashy, too overbearing. Nothing that really like sticks out to me on the instrumental that's like super off or anything. Sound selection's great. Yeah, so definitely no gripes. With the instrumental at all. Instrumental Shining Star is 100% the drums. The drums were so attractive in this, and like they were perfect on the ear, right? But it's also fast paced and has this like high octane kind of feel to it. So for me, definitely the drums, but melody's up there too, realistically, because I'm a fan of those style of of melodies. So like melody's definitely up there, but it's got to be the drums. It's definitely got to be the drums for sure. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. It seems that Ozzy is really like starting to settle into like their style of vocals that they want to do for certain types of instrumentals, right? Or they just have like a certain vision with kind of like just certain things, right? Like I just feel like their vision is very specific, right? So you could say that, but also when it comes to the quality itself too, like it's starting to like hit that ceiling where like they're feels like they're like really settling in and like it's at like a nice medium, right? Because again, like the last like 3 or 4 tracks have been super solid mix wise, right? Especially style wise too, depending on what kind of instrumental it is and what their vision is, right? So but for this one in particular, I like it a lot. It's like right where it needs to be again for this style of instrumental. Like fast paced, but it's also kind of matching that energy as well. So that's one thing I really like about this. But definitely no gripes with the vocal mix. Nothing clashing too overbearing, right? Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Nothing I would change. Um hmm. Vocal Shining Star. You know, it could be flow and cadence and delivery, to be honest. I feel like the flow throughout the whole track was actually keeping up with the instrumental. Like they wanted to create a very like high energy kind of song, and it worked. Like it really fucking worked. You know what I mean? Like in this alt pop kind of dance esque direction, right? So I feel like they did a good job when it comes down to flow cadence and delivery. Writing could be a close second, but I feel like flow cadence and delivery is what's gonna hook a new listener in. You're just like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So you kind of like pay attention. So yeah, definitely flow cadence and delivery for sure. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, flow cadence and delivery. Let's talk about the music video. So we've reacted to so many videos from Patterns, a few from Ozzy, but this is one of the ones where I thought this was a really great concept because again, like I feel like it's constantly changing to like for a lot of these latest Ozzy tracks, like a lot of the visions are different for some of these music videos, and I think that's solid. You know what I mean? I like the variety here, and I feel like that was a good thing for this project. You know what I mean? Like it was a really solid just idea in general. You know what I mean? To consistently switch it up, but not too much. You know, and this one has that like old school underground feel to it. Like I think we've reacted to a couple in this style, right? But this one in particular, especially with like a lot of like the long shots and like driving, this one hit like the underground sweet spot for me. Just because it's all DIY and it's really well done, especially in the description they said all shot on iPhone. You know what I mean? So that's fantastic. That is fucking fantastic. And again, it just, you know, it goes such a long way to just use the resources that you're getting, right? Because you can still come up with something so fucking so cool with minimal resources, right? And this is kind of one of the examples that you'd want to use, you know what I mean? Like entirely shot on iPhone, and it's really well done, right? Because a lot of the muscle is in the post processing. You just need the actual footage to get it done. You know what I mean? So that's where Patterns comes in and really works their skill. You know what I mean? Like really works their talent. It's just like, okay, time to get to work, and a fantastic job every time. Especially at the end when you hear that watermark and tag, it's like, okay, shit, you know, like you know what you just witnessed kind of thing, right? And this one again, much credit to Patterns, is really hitting that underground sweet spot, right? It feels like DIY. It feels homey. It even almost feels like, you know, going back home. You know, like going back to your hometown after like 10 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like some kind of jazz like that. But music video Shining Star definitely. I would say between the shots and the post processing, like the editing is so nice. You know what I mean? The editing is fantastic. Like so, obviously that's what made it like mostly entertaining to watch. But I do like a lot of these like longer driving shots. I'm torn between those two, but honestly, probably the post processing. Like everything done in post is just and again, Patterns kind of comes through, works the magic. Ozzy on the track. It comes out real nice. Let's fucking get it. With that said, huge shout out to Ozzy and Patterns. Thank you guys so much for the submission. Make sure you go subscribe to Patterns YouTube. They're 2 subs away from 350, and now they are only 1. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Ozzy on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 250. Go show them some motherfucking love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 stubberoonies, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, baby. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Mondays. Let's get it. So up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon, so we already reacted to their track earlier in the show, so make sure you go check that out and go show Jordan some love. Up next actually would be another Drew submission, but we already reacted to a Drew track in the show, so huge shout out to Drew. And then Mark would be after that, but Mark is also a Music Mondays Patreon, so we also reacted to Mark earlier in the show, so definitely go check out the beginning of the show and go show these motherfucking Patreons some love. And we have Sean Motley down here who does not follow Music Mondays on Twitter. That is the only thing that we require. Submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following us on Twitter before you submit. Just to pay respect to everybody else that does follow us and wait for their submission to be reacted to. And of course, not only to just spread our message and join our community, but you also gain access to a wonderful, passionate community. So make sure you're following Music Mondays on Twitter. And of course, feel free to resubmit after you follow. Of course, so I think we have one more because TDG actually submitted very, very late, but we do have time for one more, so I'm definitely down. All right, last submission of the night, the homie TDG, aka Till the Grave. It's been a while since we heard from them. Definitely not in 2024. Probably over like 6-7 months, maybe in December ish, but definitely not in 2024. A super talented hip hop vocalist and producer submitted Better Friends. Prod by me, performed by me. Okay. Little self prod incoming. All right, I'm with it. All right, let's get into it. TDG, Better Friends. Let's go.
I got made a decision, but don't wanna listen. I like bad decisions, up to no good. That's how I am living. If I burn out fast, at least I glistened. Up to no good, that's how I am living. If I burn out fast, at least I glisten. Yeah, money talk, get the cash and walk. I'm coming up as a villain and I'm fucking up the plot. Making things not go along like how you thought. Get you off the vision, off the dot. No more acting, never lacking, pistol packing. You're not out of the woods, yeah. You'll end up in my wood and we smoke it till the back end. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Yeah, stack it up and cash in. Walk in the trap with a bag, stay and put the cash in. Put 'em up, I want some action. Click like Massum, outlasting the rest of death. Missing pistol lead, I'm lucky to have my head. If I fall, I come back from the dead. Not in the ghost, but in the flesh. My friends carry nose, death before the sun, a salute and pledge. Life and death, we're brothers past the end. Yeah, we counting Benjamins. Life a bitch, me and death are better friends. But I'm trying to make amends. I don't see no benefits. Hanging with dead presidents. Smoking blunts bigger than elephants. Catch my check, ain't no settlement. Yeah. Might have been heaven sent, but I live for the hell of it. Might have been heaven sent, but I live for the hell of it. Yeah, I ain't celibate, mixing drugs, all these elements. What I know, what I say, to the hell with it.
Okay.
I ain't living well, but oh well. Wishing for change, but can't find the well. Oh well. Bitches kiss and tell, run around the whole world just to find themselves. Yeah, stack it up and cash in. Walk in the trap with a bag saying put the cash in. Put 'em up, I want some action. Click, clack, blast 'em. Outlasting the grip of death, missing pistol blood. I'm lucky to have my head. If I fall, I'll come back from the dead. But none of goes but in the flesh. My friends carrying those death before the sun is salute and pledge. Life and death, we are brothers past the end.
Okay. Well done. That was solid. I like the instrumental choice a lot here. All right. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of A Better Friends. Instrumental, self-prod. The mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that like really stuck out to me that was like off-putting or anything like that. Sound selection is solid. Drums are solid, patterns are solid. Nothing I would really change on this, to be honest with you. Sample's great as well. So instrumental mix, definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star is definitely the sample, no doubt. But the sample is really well utilized and it's definitely almost like a second artist on the track, right? So sample for sure. Vocals. Let's talk vocal mix. Solid, to be honest with you. Nothing that I would change here at all either, to be honest with you. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything's nice and medium and even and right where it needs to be. Nothing that I would like ultimately really change here. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. Nothing that's like really crazy. So vocal mix is definitely solid. Vocal Shining Star. Gotta be flow and cadence. Flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Definitely made this very entertaining to listen to, right? And just makes you pay attention to the lyrics more. So I would definitely say flow and cadence delivery for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely the sample. Vocals solid. Definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Better Friends. Aesthetics. Definitely has this like old school kind of feel to it, right? With like a photo of like one of those like wind up cameras, right? Like one of those ones you have to like twist up and shit. Definitely reminds me of one of those for sure. So has that like throwback feel to it, which I feel like definitely fits this for sure. So perfect for the track itself. Aesthetics absolutely on point. Overall theme of Better Friends. So TDG kind of loosely goes into like being a better friend or having better friends. But I wouldn't say that that's like the ultimate theme here. I would definitely pay more attention to the punchlines, the writing, the lyrics, pretty much everything here, right? Like you could dig deep for it, but this is definitely more of a lyrical showcase for sure. Um, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Till the Grave. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. Of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are approaching 210 followers. They're only 2 away. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 280 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, per usual. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. And of course, if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Thank you. Of course. So, with that said, that concludes every submission for episode 170 of the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. Let's close it out. Let's get some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's do all that good jazz and let's talk about it. So, what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So, we pretty much discussed all that at the jump of the show. So make sure you tune in to the beginning of the Mondays podcast, man. Very, very important. You know what I mean? Gotta tune into that. But per usual, we have a big week ahead. Current Cases of the Mondays Collection 2 full album drops Friday, June 21st. So if you're watching this live, get ready Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube, it already dropped, so go play that shit. And of course, weekly pieces, articles, a lot of good jazz. I'm coming off a pretty crazy event, so I gotta get some rest and start recouping for the week and get some more content out and things like that. So bunch of stuff to get done, man. But with that said, make sure you follow Music Mondays everywhere on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good jazz. We're pretty much everywhere. TikTok, wherever you use social media, we are there. So make sure you go show us some love at all Music Mondays. And of course, make sure you stream this episode on all platforms. Pretty much wherever you'd like. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, things like that. Of course, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays for all audio platforms. And of course, submissions open tomorrow for episode 179. So make sure you get your submissions in. And again, make sure you follow us on socials so you know when we actually drop submissions, man, and open them. And of course, this will be uploaded on all audio platforms Thursday, and you'll see this go live on YouTube on Saturday. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed motherfucking love, man. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat. First off, huge shout out to Mark for literally kicking off the stream with a fucking 5-bomb. That is crazy. That is a actual insane way to start the show. So if you got a gifty from Mark, make sure you go show Mark some love, man, because that was fucking crazy. And thank you so much again, my friend. Thank you. And of course, huge shout out to everybody else that came through, lurked and chilled and all that good jazz. Ree, thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for a bit. Huge shout out to Mag on Twitch. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream and family, my friends. So, all right. Huge shout out to everybody that also submitted tonight. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons, King Mark, Blank Dot, Jordan, Kruker, Ryuki, Dry My Eyes. You guys are amazing. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted as well here tonight on Wuka, TDG, Offspring Mysterious, Survival Negativity, Bowtied, Piano Man, Saint Wave, Braden, Drew on the Beat, Ozzy, Jordan, Mark, and everybody else that came through, showed love, submitted, all that good jazz, man. Thank you. You guys are fucking amazing, and we love you. So you guys know the drill, man. Make sure you follow the channel, follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all the socials, all the good jazz linked down below. I'm literally live like 6 days a week, man, so make sure you come stop by, come hang out, lurking, watch parties, speedrunning, a whole lot of good jazz goes down on here, man. And of course, you can follow me at Zom Slays on all platforms. And we'll see you next time for episode 179 of the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, I'll be live tomorrow, per usual. So, with that said, it's your boy Zom Slays. This is Music Mondays. Be safe. Album drops Friday. Let's get it.